Give us a break already. I have today's top headlines and the new reports that just hit the wire today. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. However, first off, before we do, since today is Memorial Day, I want to take a minute here and give a very, very special thank you to those of you right here in the community who have served our country. It is because of your service and your sacrifice that gives us the freedom we get to enjoy today. So again, thank you so much. We truly do appreciate your sacrifice and your service. I hope you had a really, really special day. So again, thank you so much. Let's get right into the updates for today that have recently hit the wire. And once again, as always, there is a lot going on as always. So let's work our way through these reports one at a time. First off, I quickly want to talk through one of these very important metrics that we talk about occasionally here on the channel. And this report was also just released that we need to keep a close eye on because it gives us a better glimpse into the American people and what is going on with the finances as a whole for most Americans out there. This is actually measured as the personal savings rate. Now, this report was just released and it's showing some pretty surprising numbers here. Now, the personal savings rate is actually measured as a percentage of disposable income. The report came in at 4.4%. To put that into perspective, this is the lowest percentage as a personal savings rate that we've seen since 2008. Let me remind you, do you remember what was happening in 2008? Yeah, you probably do. The economy and the markets were melting down in a very deep and severe recession. So that was 2008, and we're right back at those same levels right now when it comes to the personal savings rate. So again, not exactly a good thing, right? But again, this is just one piece of the puzzle. This is like a big jigsaw puzzle, and this is just one of those pieces. But again, my point is we need to watch this. So let me give you just a really quick explanation behind this. Here's why this is a very important metric that we need to watch right now, because here's why. When we get into times like we are right now that are very high inflationary periods of time, what happens is us, the consumer, we still need to buy the things, the necessities, the basics, all the things that we've always needed. As a result of that, with rapidly rising prices, many Americans out there start dipping into their savings in order to cover all the basic living expenses. Therefore, personal savings drops, right? That's why we're seeing this plummeting percentage in the personal savings rate, right? Again, so that's why that's happening is people simply don't have the money. So again, this is on a broad scale. This is measuring across huge portions of people out there. So again, this is a very important metric that we need to watch closely. Next, let's quickly talk about the president and the chairman of the Federal Reserve. So President Biden is supposed to be meeting with the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, tomorrow. It sounds like it's going to be like a one-on-one meeting to see what they can do to tackle some of this inflation. So it seems kind of interesting that we've been dealing with inflation for what, like a year or 8 months or something now, where inflation has been very, very high, and now they're just deciding to talk now to figure this out? Something about this seems a little bit off to me. I'm not really sure, but it seems like the inflation situation was something that maybe should have been handled a long time ago, but I guess late is better than never, as the saying goes, right? So anyway, that meeting between these two guys, as in President Biden and the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, will be taking place tomorrow. As I do get any details on that meeting, of course, I will bring that to you tomorrow or as soon as I can get that information. But anyway, hopefully they can come together with a plan as far as bringing down some of this inflation and bringing these prices down to more manageable levels like what we were seeing a couple years ago. So anyway, that's going to be a tough feat for sure, but who knows? We'll have to see what they can actually muster up and do here. Since we're talking about mustard, let's quickly talk about another report that was also just released today, talking about food prices. Now, this weekend is technically the unofficial kickoff to summer. That's what people call it anyway, since kind of a 3-day weekend at the beginning of like the summer months, things like that, even though summer is technically about 3 weeks out from right now. But anyway, this weekend is always called the unofficial kickoff to summer, and a lot of people get together and do a lot of grilling. Well, here's what the reports are now showing. A new report was just released showing that today alone, this weekend and today, we have seen record prices hit for the price of different meats. Let me run you through some of these percentages. I hope you're sitting down because these are huge, huge spikes in prices on some meats. So here's what it comes down to. Beef and chicken prices are up 20% across these two, beef and chicken, 20%. Now check this out. When it comes down to frozen meats, for example, frozen meat is up 15%, frozen sausage is up 24%. Prepackaged burgers are up 11%. And get this, if you think that you maybe wanted a bun or maybe a little bit of dressing on top like mustard or ketchup, get this much. Ketchup is up 15% and mustard is up 11%. So even this kind of stuff. I did not see anything about bun prices, as in like, buns that you put like a hot dog or burger or something in. I didn't see anything about bun prices, but I would imagine those are probably up as well because there's just no way that they're still the same price that they were a year or even 3 months ago. So anyway, that was a report that I came across just a short time ago. And apparently these new records were just reached today or this weekend. So anyway, very interesting stuff. And as I've mentioned before over the last few weeks here, this is the kind of thing that we got to continue to pay attention to. As I mentioned months and months and months ago, again, I don't want to encourage hoarding. I'm not saying like go to the store and buy all kinds of stuff out there. I'm not saying that. But as I've been saying for quite a few months now, if there's any way when you go out to the store, if you can pick up a few extra things here and there, just a little bit and start, putting a few things away, like frozen food, stuff like that. I mean, man, if we would have froze some meats, say, 3 months ago, we'd be way ahead of the game these days, right? I mean, we would have locked in some really good prices, comparison-wise, compared to what meats are going for today, according to these numbers and these percentages right now. Again, just one more example of meats and prices going up on literally everything right now. So, again, to be totally fair, meats are probably one of the most expensive grocery items, again, to be fair, but at the end of the day, this is also something that a lot of people consume, right? So again, kind of an unfortunate situation with all this rapidly rising prices, but hopefully something will come out of that meeting with the president and the chairman of the Federal Reserve tomorrow, where they can come up with a great plan here to actually lower some of these prices for all of us, the consumers, right? So anyway, as long as we're talking about increased prices, we wouldn't be complete in this video. Yep, you know exactly what I'm going to say right now. Yes, we did it once again today. A new record when it comes to the national average for 1 gallon of gas. Seriously, this is not some funny game I'm playing. No, it's not at all. This is the real thing. Every single day, we're getting a new record price in the national average of 1 gallon of gas. Something right here, once again, seems really, really off to me. Here's the thing. To be totally fair now, there was a small reprieve in there where prices did not go down, but rather prices stopped going up for maybe about 3 or 4 days there, kind of in the middle of this past week. Prices kind of leveled out and sat right at the $4.59 range for, like I said, maybe 3-4 days or so. And then they started inching up again a couple pennies at a time. We hit $4.60 one day, $4.61 yesterday, and yes, you called it, $4.62 as of today once again. So seriously, this is a huge problem. Now, here's another thing that is very confusing about this, and I read a report on this as well. And again, I want to throw this out there. I am not taking political sides with this. I'm not here to say anything bad about the president. You know that I don't take sides in my videos. I simply give you the information that I find while doing my research. But here's what I was reading about, and this is a little bit interesting too. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. A couple months ago, what was it, maybe month and a half, maybe 2 months ago now. Honestly, I don't remember the exact day when it was announced, but it was probably about 2 months ago or so. The president came out and announced that they would be releasing 1 million barrels of oil every single day on average for the next 6 months. 180 million barrels of oil that was going to be released from the strategic reserves to help alleviate gas prices. Well, that's still apparently going on right now. 1 million barrels of oil a day. In other words, adding more supply to the equation, more supply being dumped on the market, should technically bring prices down. But why are prices going up right now? Do you see the disconnect here? Something is not adding up. You get what I'm saying? So again, I'm not here to say anything about the president. I'm just simply saying something does not add up here. If 1 million barrels of oil are being released from the strategic reserves every single day to lower prices, and prices continue to go up penny by penny by penny every single day, and we're hitting new records almost on a daily basis, again, something is very wrong here. This picture is not painting the picture of supply being dumped on the market. That is not how supply and demand works. Supply and demand works by increased supply means prices go down. It has to go down. That's how supply and demand works. It's the most basic thing about economics, and that's how supply and demand works. It's just any market. Doesn't matter if we're talking about oil. Doesn't matter if we're talking about meat prices. Doesn't matter if we're talking about bubblegum wrappers. It's supply and demand. That's what dictates the price of anything in the world. So, I don't know. Again, I continue to dig into this and feel like, I smell a rat. You know what I mean? So anyway, not really sure what that is. And I'm not here to bring up all these conspiracy theories or things like this. I'm just simply saying something is not making sense here. If that much oil is being dumped onto the market, we should be seeing gas prices going down, not up, or at least leveling off, not continuing to rise. I don't know. Seems weird to me. All right, next. Remember how China, China, they're still in lockdown. Do you remember this stuff? They've been in lockdown for 2 months. Yes, unbelievable. 2 months of lockdown. I can't even imagine what those people are going through right now. Could you imagine if we were in lockdown for 2 months? Yeah, I don't think that would go very well. But anyway, they are in lockdown currently as of right now, but I'm guessing they're probably jumping with joy if they have any energy left, because it sounds like food has been very scarce over there during the last couple months here. But anyway, their lockdowns will be lifted on Wednesday. So it looks like China will be back at it on Wednesday, and apparently they're going to continue with their zero COVID policy through the rest of this year. So I'm not sure how they plan on doing this, but it sounds like they maybe have some more lockdowns in their future coming relatively soon. But anyway, Wednesday, Shanghai will be lifting their lockdowns, and sounds like they're going to try to get back to it. So might be kind of interesting, but the supply chain issues that we've kind of been dealing with here with a variety of different products and things like that, hopefully this will be alleviated. But remember too as well, it takes a very long time for those containers to be loaded up in China, to be loaded onto big freighter ships that go across the ocean, to make their way over here, to be unloaded, loaded onto trains, loaded onto trucks, distributed across the country. You can see it's a very long process. So any supply chain issues that we're dealing with right here, right now, it's probably going to take several weeks, maybe even a couple months to get any of that kind of backlog because of the lockdowns over there to actually get things back up and running and the products back on our store shelves here. So wow. Anyway, a lot of stuff going on right now. Anyway, these are some of the key reports that I saw come out today. Of course, there's like 7,000 other reports that hit the wire again today as well. But these are the ones that I kind of cherry picked out of the mix that I thought were most valuable to you right here in this community, and that I thought you would enjoy as well as find interesting, as well as that kind of impact us the most right here. So that's my dedication, is to find all this information and to boil it all down to make sure that all of you right here in the community are staying updated with everything going on. And ultimately, I want to make sure that I'm pointing out anything that'll impact us either in a positive or, unfortunately, a negative way, because we got to stay tuned with what's going on right now during this very busy time. And this time that things are changing, and honestly, it's just a plain old weird time. I think that's what we can probably call it right now. I think we can all probably agree this is a very weird time that we're living through. Therefore, I want to make sure that you know about things that are going on and kind of prepare, with foresight into what may be coming. Just like I talked about yesterday with potential sugar shortages coming because the couple of main producers in the country or around the world right now are potentially limiting exports of sugar. Again, talked about that yesterday. But again, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. So if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe down below. It's totally free to do so. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. I'm dedicated to you and this community. I want to help you out. Make sure that you're staying updated. And of course, I want to help you get more money, benefits, checks, anything else that may be popping up right now. So again, please enjoy your day. Subscribe down below. And until next time, have a nice day. Stay safe. And I will see you again soon in the next video.